Today, we begin a three-part series on how Hollis Cobb has adjusted to the work-from-home environment so prevalent in the U.S. today. In part one, we are talking with Operations Directors Shellye Cummings and Pedro Martinez about the challenges and successes of managing a remote workforce.
So one of the biggest challenges that we face is communication.
I agree. Communication is definitely a challenge for us. But we've managed to find ways to overcome those communication obstacles since we've deployed our staff to work from home.
We use technology in order to get in touch with them at all times of the day. Zoom, Microsoft Teams,
Right.
So that we send out a consistent message to everyone on a minute-by-minute basis. It's
correct.
Crucial to be able to manage these people and be able to see their screens, they see ours, and able to give them the directions that they need for the day.
Right, and the important thing is that technology allows us to be able to send one message to everybody that's consistent across the organization.
Another one of the challenges that we have is prioritization. It's very hard to know exactly what's on people's minds when they're not in front of us. What are your biggest challenges on that?
Consistency. From one manager to the other. How do we get everybody to be on the same page? How do we prioritize the things that are important to us in our work environment? Do we prioritize calls? Do we prioritize contacts? Do we prioritize the negotiation skills required for them to do their job and their listening skills? I think that's one of our challenges. Technology is great because it allows us to put a face to the name. But being in person allows us to pick up on body language issues, allows us to pick up on other things that are important for us to be able to determine whether or not just the skill set, but also traits like reliability and trustworthiness are something that's good. Because in today's world, because we do hire for remote positions, it's important for us to be able to trust that person, to be able to be on their system and be able to do their job with minimal to no supervision.
Yeah, and lastly, Pedro, I've found that even though people want to work from home, there's that sense of isolation that they have because they're not familiar with our culture and they're not here with us.
I agree.
Which actually leads to retention problems. The isolation, it's harder to retain employees when they're not connected to us as a group.
Yeah, absolutely. We lose that sense of connection with the people on a personal level. Technology, like I said before, provides us an avenue to be able to see people, but the personal connection is missing. And sometimes, to Shellye's point, we lose them in the process of not being able to make that personal relationship with them. Whereas when they were here on site, we could pull them off to the side. If they have questions, we could talk to them. We can walk them through whatever concerns they had. It's a lot more difficult, a lot more challenging, not impossible, but it's a lot more challenging for us to be able to do that remotely.
When the pandemic hit, we knew that we had to make some changes
Right.
and make some decisions and make them quickly. So we were able to successfully deploy 300 employees home with all of their equipment in a week. I think that is an amazing job, and we have great IT staff that helped us get that done and get it done successfully with no lost time.
Yeah, and I think the beauty of it is that everybody rolled up their sleeves. And whether they were I had an IT background or not, we all jumped in and made sure that everybody was deployed and that everybody was connected at home. Although we had some challenges, I believe the transition was seamless. It didn't impact productivity. And I believe it was about as successful as it could have been in such a short period of time.
Right. And some of the good things we found from working from home is a bigger pool of applicants that we can deploy to local clients that have a better payer mix knowledge and can help us with some of those hurdles that we see across the country with different type of payers.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with you, Shellye, especially in your world where it's more prevalent that people need experience in those local areas to be able to get us in front of our clients' business as quickly as possible.